You ready? I'm ready. It's time for lunchtime true crime. Listen, this is Murdaugh week. Dressed in my money because we know what old Alec Murdaugh worships, the almighty dollar. Look, we are covering Netflix's Murdaugh, A Southern Scandal series. And so yesterday we talked about episode 1 and a teensy little bit of 2, where we covered just the history of the Murdaugh family and what happened in the immediate aftermath of the murders. Now look, when last we left, Paul had been caught driving a boat with friends filled with alcohol, and the Department of Natural Resources was like, nah, dude, we gonna call your mom and daddy and have them come and pick you up. You can't be out here like this. Also, didn't you just unalive a girl by doing this very same thing? No, sir, no, you will not. And Alex went and cleaned it up and fixed it up, and Maggie was like, oh, Lord, what else gonna do? She was complaining to her friends that she didn't know what was gonna happen to Alex. She didn't know what was gonna happen to old Paul. A week later, Paul was no longer on this mortal coil. Here's the thing. His old girlfriend, Morgan Doherty, Morgan was like, I did not know that Paul had passed away, but he came and visited me that night. And then she questions, did Paul visit me on his departing journey? Really, girl? You think he visited? I have a friend, a quick aside, because you know I love me an aside. I have a girlfriend who feels like, what was his name? River Phoenix visited her on his parting journey. And I was like, really? That is so random. And she's like, oh yeah, he said this to me, he said that to me. And I was like, okay. Why did he choose you? But he didn't visit his mom and okay, whatever. Anyway, cut to Miss Shelley. Now look. Miss Shelley has gotten it all the way together. Oh, Miss Shelley has the good wig. She has the good makeup, but you can still see her adorable freckles. She has a nice lip. You know Miss Shelley loves a statement necklace. Oh, Shelley the house. She's not a housekeeper. She's a home health aide. She has herself a gorgeous necklace. Waist is snatched. And she's like, oh, let me do something that looks natural to me. I'm going to put on these nice little gardening gloves, and I'm going to be here and I'm going to fill the bird feeder, and then I'm going to go sit down and wait for these nice Netflix people to come and talk to me so they can write me a nice check, because you know they wrote Miss Shelley a check. Listen, you on the news, that mess is free, but you going on Netflix gonna write you a check. It's not gonna be a big check, trust and believe, but Netflix, they gonna give you a little bit of money. And Miss Shelley was like, please and thank you, because I don't even know if she still has her home health aide job. Is Miss Libby still alive? Can somebody just let me know? I feel like if she had passed, then like we would have heard about that. But child, I don't know. I'm all the way off the subject. Anyway, the night of the murders, after Paul goes to visit Morgan on his parting journey, Alex is like, let me go on over to my mama's house. He drives over to his mama's house and he calls up, Shelley girl. And she's like, bring hello. He's like, yeah, I'm outside. And she's like, why are you outside? You know your mama's sleep. Okay, whatever. So he comes and he sits down and watches a little game show with his mother or whatever. Okay. Establishing an alibi. He watches TV 15, 20 minutes and then he's gone. And so they were saying, Shelley, how was he? She's like, he was fidgety. He was just like, something was off, but I was not sure what. But I was like, okay, I don't know what's happening here, but something about this is not right. Because if you know anything about people with Alzheimer's or old people, or me in the late afternoon, they get what's called sundowning, right? So they're good in the morning. I mean, they're not good, but they're better than normal in the morning. But as the day goes along, they get like more and more tired, and then they just go to sleep relatively early because they like decline over the course of the day. What you think is going to happen when you come to your mama's house at 9:30 at night, when you know her bedtime is like 8:30 and you just sitting there watching game shows? That is called establishing an alibi. We see you, Alec. Come on now. So then the next day, Alec was like, Miss Shelley, yes, it's terrible. What happened? Listen, girl, let me holler at you for a minute. Come here. Remember last night? And she was like, it's terrible. He's like, when I was here for 40 minutes, and she was like, I'm sorry, what now? No, 40 minutes, you say? That game show we was watching only plays for 30 minutes, which means it's really 22 minutes, and you wasn't even here for the whole game show. You was here maybe 15, 20 tops. He was like, yeah, remember when I was here for 40 minutes? And she's like, that would have been one episode of Wheel of Fortune and 10 minutes into Jeopardy where they introduced you didn't get to see where they, no, sir. So she was like, okay, please don't fire me. Your mom is nice, your family's, John Marvin, he's lovely. His wife brought me a casserole. Why are you asking me to lie? I know the other home health aide, Miss Barbara Mixon, she's probably very willing to lie for you. Aren't you also isn't she also your drug dealer? Okay, that's a topic for another day. But like, okay, sure, you were here for all that time. So she's like, okay, bye, Alex. Hello, brother. She got a brother who's a law enforcement agent. And her brother was like, yeah, Shelly, girl, what's going on? She said, that lying-ass Alex Murdaugh was over here, and he's asking me to lie for him, and he thinks I'm a lie. I don't want no parts in this. I think he killed his family, but don't tell nobody. I told you, okay, bye, click. And so we was all like, okay, Miss Shelly, what is happening? So Shelly was like, I'm just going to stick this under my bad wig, keep it right under there. Because that's where folks store things in the South. They store things under their wig. So she was like, I'm going to store this under this bad wig, and I'm going to fold this wig up, and I'm going to put this in the top of the closet next to the guns Alex probably got in there. But you ain't heard that from me. And she was like, I'm nervous. This shady behind family is rich and powerful, and I don't want no parts of they mess. So, I'm just going to keep this to myself. And so she just goes on and waits for Sled to contact her. And she's like, if they contact me, I'm telling them everything. But am I just going to call him up and be like, hey, Sled, he up here lying? No, I'm not. And then a few weeks goes by. He's like, hey, Shelly, girl, how you doing? Oh, new wig. Thanks. And I like that. This one's much better. Looks less like a dead cat and more like, actual hair. Still not human, but like much better. Good job, girl. Listen, I heard you getting married. And she's like, yes. And he's like, weddings can be expensive. If you need some help taking care of that wedding, I can help you out. And she's like, oh, you shady AF. Clearly you murdered them. Now, that's her inside voice. What she said on the outside is, thank you. That's so kind. Oh, Lord Jesus, is he going to have me knocked off next? Oh, my goodness, what is happening? And she's like, okay, thank you. Brother, he's really trying to get me to lie for him. And the brother was like, okay, we just gonna take it as it comes. And she's like, I really like this job. Why did Barbara Mixon get me into this mess? Barbara, go on and deal your drugs and deal with these crazy people. Leave me out of it. So I was like, okay, shady behavior number 1. I mean, honestly, that's shady behavior number 75. But Alex was running around with all of his shady behavior at that point. Enter Miss Blanca. Child, here's a little detail that I knew but didn't know all the details of. Few days after the murders, Sled is cleared out and they took the guns out or whatever. Now, at the time in the community, they were like, oh, somebody from the boat case must have come into Moselle and killed Maggie and Paul. Now, listen, if you know Murdaugh country, like we all now know Murdaugh country, nobody was going to be ballsy enough to come into Murdaugh territory and murder a Murdaugh. Maybe the cartel, but the cartel was not going to have this messy murder. The cartel would swoop in, double tap, boom, boom, and then be out. Not all this other foolishness where Alex is running around. So here's Alex. Hey, Bianca. B, listen, can you and Michael stay out at Moselle? It would really help me out. And she was like, yeah, sure. The location where the murders took place, out there in the country where it's very dark and there's no security system and somebody was recently murdered, that's where you would like me to move into and stay? Great. First of all, her husband was like, B, what? Not B as in is her name, as in, Bisque, they want us to do what? Are we being paid? What? It is not enough money in the world to make me stay at that haunted behind house way out there in the country where nobody else is at, where the murderers recently were. Who's to say that these vigilantes or whatever are not just going to show back up and be like, dang, we missed Alex the first time. That's okay. They got guns there on the property, so we can just go pick up a handy dandy gun and shoot whoever's in there. Ain't enough money in the world. I would have been like, sure, we're staying there. I would have took Bubba and the other dogs and went and stayed at my house and left it be. What was he going to do? Well, how was he going to know? How was he going to know? Was he going to check? Meanwhile, according to the townspeople, in the weeks and months after the murders, you think Alex was sitting someplace grieving and crying and being sad? Oh, no, if you thought that, you'd be very wrong. Apparently, according to the people down there in the Low Country, him and Buster went on out to Edisto. Okay. Your dearly beloved has passed and you went to the beach. Okay. They were looking tan and fit. They were traveling, going on all kinds of vacations and stuff. What? Now listen, If I personally happen to unalive a spouse or a partner or something like that, not saying that I would because I adore my husband, but if I happen to unalive him and he was like an 80-year-old billionaire with no living family and the money was passing directly to me, yes, I would grieve in Tahiti. I would absolutely grieve in Tahiti because I could grieve in North Jersey or I could grieve on a tropical island. I am team grieve on a tropical island. But if you under the umbrella of suspicion and everybody is looking at you, I get why you might want to go to Edisto, but y'all out at all the social functions. Oh, they out, they got their drinks, they mingling, they having a good time. It's a million pictures of them in sunglasses looking tan and fit out at social gatherings. I might sit on the back porch on the beach and be sad. I might even splash in the waves a little bit. Y'all out here being social? Oh, you at the lawyers convention, yucking it up, talking to people, having the best time of your life. Sir, you're a teensy bit of a sociopath. Not that we needed that to prove that because we kind of already knew that, but the fact that they were out being social, I'm like, nope. Finally, after 2 months, Sled calls me, Alex, come on. Listen, have a little seat. Thanks so much. I have some questions for you. And he was like, great, I'm here to answer questions because I want you to solve this murder as long as you're not pointing the finger at me. And so the lead investigator was like, okay, so listen, we have this fact and that fact and blah, blah, blah. Listen, can I ask you a question now? Little question. And Alex was like, of course, ask me anything. And he said, did you kill Maggie? Here's Alex. I can't believe you're asking me this. No, I did not kill Maggie. They were like, do you know who did kill Maggie? He was like, absolutely not. Are you out of your mind? I do not know who killed Maggie. Sir, you should have practiced body language. And they were like, okay, so what about Paul? Did you kill Paul? And he was like, Paul? I would not have killed Paul. I would never have murdered my son. Sir, every question they ask you that you should be answering no to, you should be like, oh God, I would never. Oh, no. He's smart. He's not that smart. I also think he did not anticipate that the whole internet and the whole world will be scrutinizing his every move. He's probably also not used to people being like, boy, you a lying sack of sugar. Because all the rest of us, we're like, we don't know you. I never heard of a Murdaugh till you started unaliving people. So now I'm looking at you real hard. I have no respect for the history, for your daddy, for your grandpa, all of them. I'm just looking at you like, oh, you look extra murdery. Please tell me more. So every time you ask him a real hard question on video, he's shaking his head with the correct answer while his mouth says something else. So, Alex, are you a lying sack of sugar? No, I am not a lying sack of sugar. Now, that is not a question that they asked, but in my opinion, that is absolutely a question they should have asked, because as that episode ended, I was like, it's very clear to me he is guilty. He obviously can't see himself because I can see him. And I understand why you're under stress. You might be like, yeah, I don't know what happened. I'm all nervous and whatever. But sir, you are looking awful tan and thin and snatched and all pulled together. I think you're guilty. And you know who I think is going to bring you down? All the powerful women down there in the low country who was sick of all of your mess, but you didn't know that yet. Tune in tomorrow where we talk about those powerful women from the low country, South Carolina, and Murdaugh, a Southern scandal. All right. I will see you soon. Bye.